When are feelings unreliable? Have you guys seen a pattern in your own
Damn.
lives where
Oh,
you
okay,
can
that's a
clock
deep
it and
one.
see feelings are unreliable here?
Damn, it's a deep question right off the bat. Holy
Yeah,
Omar,
I
wow.
was not expecting that.
Feelings are unreliable. I feel like when expectations are in play, I feel like feelings can be a little unreliable. I feel like the more you expect from someone, like the more, I guess, you're kind of imagining a certain outcome. So I feel like that would be my answer. Simple, hopefully it makes sense.
I do like that response. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say something similar to that, so I'll let Muneeb take that one because that was a very deep question. I was not ready
Yeah, I
for
was
it.
not ready for it
Especially,
either, bro. You started off. I haven't had coffee yet.
yeah,
Yeah. There's this funny it's like this meme where there's this video of Kanye and what's his name? I need my own coffee today. What's that one comedian's name? Dave
Uh,
Chappelle. Dave
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 Chappelle.
Chappelle.
Okay.
Chappelle, the
Anyways, there's this
GOAT.
funny video where like
Uh,
Kanye really wants him to say something funny, and then Dave's like,
Shit, I don't know. I'm still on my first cup of coffee, nigga. All right, let me think of a good joke.
No, we need Dave, we need you. Don't stop recording, so keep giving it. We need you, brother. We need you. But nah, get this picture. Come over here.
and then Kanye's still waiting. He's still waiting. He's like, say something funny, and then Dave's just there. He's like, too much expectation.
Even though he is one of the best comedians ever, but yeah, no, sometimes your brain doesn't work. I
like if
feel
you put him
like,
on the spot like that, yeah, it's like you don't know
yeah,
what to
I
say
feel like
sometimes.
I
Yeah,
cannot even
yeah.
function during my day if I don't start off with my coffee for some reason. Like my brain just shuts off. Uh, it happens a lot during my work meetings too, because sometimes I have like 8 a.m. meeting and then I just wake up and I'm like, whoa, what are they talking about? I have no clue. And not until I can have the first sip of my coffee, my brain starts opening up a little. And it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. All right, I'm back to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
addicted
Yeah,
to
I feel
caffeine.
bad for throwing that question at you guys, come to think of it. That is a
Honestly,
little
I
heavy for
like
the
it though.
morning.
No,
I
it's a good
like it though.
question.
It's a good
It was a
question.
great
It's
question
a good
though. Yeah,
question.
I
Yeah,
like that.
it was some, thank you. I was thinking about that like recently because, as men, we're supposed to be, at least by our nature, to be guided more by our mind. But, feelings, we all become susceptible to them. And
Yeah.
that's not always a bad thing, but
Yeah.
sometimes like, maybe I shouldn't have followed my heart there?
Yeah.
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 That's a good question.
That's
Oh
all
man, I
good,
love.
bro.
Yeah. Well, it leads
Yeah.
me to bring up the next question, which is
Uh,
what's a good indicator of moving on from something, of when to move on from something?
you got this one, this one?
Yeah, I got this. I think another great question by you. I would say, I mean, yeah, moving on is hard, of course, right? Because let's say you are talking to someone and you spend a certain amount of times every day talking to them, and then out of nowhere, boom, they're gone out of your life, and you have to move on. So it gets difficult, and it's okay to have that feeling of going back and not being able to move on. But at the same time, I feel like you have to just put yourself first. If you feel like you're being disrespected somewhere, you're not being taken care of the way you're taking care of someone, you have to put yourself first. Self-respect, comes first, and gotta make that mind let the hard shirt off a little bit and tell your brain, like, just follow whatever your brain is telling you. If you feel like this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing that. If your brain is making you question about this thing more than twice a day, then listen to it. And that could be a good indicator that, okay, it's time to move on. You cannot be just stuck in the past forever. It may take time. I mean, I've been in situations where it was like, okay, I mean, it's hard. I cannot move on from that fact or whatever happened, but um, after maybe like a month or 2 months, it started kicking in that I cannot just have that be stuck in my head for the rest of my life, and life moves on. So should you. But yeah, that's my answer for that.
I
That's a good
like that,
answer.
man. And that's a good point you made. I think sometimes also your heart also knows, like your instinct knows. So like your heart will feel a certain way, but your instinct will just be like, as you were saying, the questioning. It'll just have that question there, and it kind of
Yeah.
stops you.
It's that gut feeling that people say, right?
The gut feeling, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember now a question I wanted to ask you guys before because we're talking about doing this back in like March around Ramadan time.
Yeah.
At that time, I had a question for you guys since you're such close friends. One of the most painful heartbreaks that I feel like isn't talked about enough is the heartbreak of
A friendship.
losing friends, when a
Yeah.
Yeah.
friendship breaks off.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a conversation like that between yourselves? Like, yeah, we're boys, but maybe this friendship will expire someday. What do you think?
I
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had
Yeah,
that conversation. Like
I mean,
genuinely, yeah.
I know Muneeb has lost some good friends in life as well, and so have I. I mean, sometimes you want things to work out a certain way and they don't, which is completely fine. People have their own paths, and so do we. But at the same time, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where everybody I'm picking in my circle is like very small, very compact, and it's all genuine friendships. Everybody I'm friends with now, I trust them. I know they have my back, and I do have their back. So Munib is that type of friend where I wouldn't consider him as a friend, but more like a brother. More of the times, I mean, he's included in my family. I'm included in his family event, so it's been like that for us, and this was unexpected. I mean, you want to talk about how we met?
Yeah, yeah. It was the most unexpected. We went to the same high school, same graduating class. Like we've never
Yeah,
talked once in high school
once.
because I always saw him and I was like, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. And one day I was doing an internship for a clinical research company, and I happened to see Asfand at the orientation,
We
and
started beside the.
I was like, oh, he went to my high school, but I never talked to him because I wasn't like a really social person. But then I went to go use the restroom, and then he follows me.
Whoa, whoa, okay.
No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But like we both ran into each other at the restroom, and he was like, "Yo, you went to Taylor, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then that was like our first time ever talking. And after that, like sat across each other during our internship year,
For like
our
10 weeks,
internship of three
basically.
months, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
So and
and
then
every
after that,
day.
like yeah, we just
I
talked,
think it
like
was bound
got
to
along.
happen then,
Yeah.
like us talking to each other. So the first week, like it was barely any communication, but then after that, it started picking up, right?
Yeah.
And then since then, we out of nowhere we just became really good friends. Going to the gym together,
Yeah. I feel like
having
that was the
like a
main thing.
similar
Yeah.
like STEM major, joining AMSA, American Medical Student Association at University of Houston, and then yeah, since then it just uh like we connected on a really good level, and for the longest time now, I see him as my brother. Like I have one brother, so this is my second brother now. So
And I feel
yeah,
like it's blossomed into a beautiful friendship.
okay.
That's cool, and I hope it continues to blossom for you guys.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
One
so.
of one of the great indicators to me, at least, of a good friend is, let's say somebody's got a gun to your head and they're like, "We won't fire unless you get one call. If that person picks up, we won't fire." It's like
Ah.
that is the indicator of a good friend. That one person will pick up for sure. So I imagine it'd be like that between you guys, eh?
I don't know about the picking up part.
Hey, I called back though.
He does call back. See, it's
Oh
same with me.
damn.
Like
Okay.
sometimes like he'll call me and I won't pick up. But it's more of the fact like if I ever show up to his house, it never be like,
Like
oh,
he
why'd you
wouldn't
show up?
be. Yeah.
I can always show up to his house. He can always show up to my house if he needs to talk.
100%.
It's that type of friendship. Like I genuinely haven't had a friendship like this in my life where like I could really trust someone openly.
Mm.
And I feel like with us funny, I have that. So I really appreciate that.
How did you guys establish that trust between each other?
It's a brown love.
The brown love?
No,
No, like
actually I have no clue because it wasn't even that we were aiming for, like I
we
don't
weren't
know
like
how it
trying to be
happened.
best. You know what it is? We worked together. We went to the gym together. We were in
Yeah.
AMSA together. Like
Then we
I
have
was seeing him
podcasts
like
together
probably
all.
3 times a week.
Basically, I
Mm.
think it came to that point, and then I mean, we were doing a lot of similar things, right? With a lot of similar interests and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it started like really growing once we started our channel,
Yeah.
like the original one, the Brown Boys
The Brown
post.
Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that
yeah,
Yeah,
now.
because
yeah.
it was the fact that Muneeb always wanted to get into like a YouTube, having a YouTube channel, podcasting and stuff, right? And I had no clue about this. But he asked me, he said, "Hey man, I wanted to start this. You want to do it?" And I was like, "You know what? It seems cool. Why not? Let's do it." Um, I've been a social person. I talk a lot, so I said, "Okay, might as well use those skills, just the communication or talking, on the podcast." So when we started Brown Boys channel, it was that's when we started connecting a lot
Yeah.
more. And then since then, I mean, we've been in a situation that I cannot disclose where it was the fact that it was a gun to the head. I had to either he had to save me, or I had to save him, and we did exactly that. So
Yeah.
Wow.
that's how the friendship really grew. I think in the
Yeah.
past year and a half.
That's pretty cool. Tell me more about the Dreamers. What has your journey been like over the past year? What have what's the most valuable lesson
I
you've
I feel
extracted from
like in that whole scenario, it was really a passion project for me and Asfand. Like we
it? Mm.
started like with no expectations, like I said, and it really came out to just us having fun with it and meeting great people. And we've met so many great individuals so far, and it's really just like a hobby kind of for us, where we're kind of continuing it and also building a professional background with it as well. Now let Asfand take the rest of the answer over. He's good at talking
Yeah,
about this.
no, it has been an amazing journey. I mean, all the individuals we have connected with, I never thought that I would be able to speak one on one with like great leaders in medicine, and healthcare. Some of the individuals, couple of the individuals that I will mention are maybe we recently sat down with Dr. Draeda, who's the senior vice president and chief scientific officer of MD Anderson. That conversation was really well, like, and then you get to really see when you communicate with these individuals on your podcast, you get to see their real life and not just like their titles.
Yeah,
So when we get to have a conversation with them, you realize they're just like us. There's nothing special about these individuals. They just never gave up, and that's why they're at the position they're at now. I can guarantee you they went through a lot of struggles in life, like every other student. I mean, there's struggles of like financial struggles as well as like family pressure and all that. And I am pretty sure everybody went through that because the type of conversations we have had, there's not a single individual who didn't go through at least less
some
than
sort of struggle. Yeah.
five, yeah, a few struggles in life, but they're at the position because they never gave up. So that's our point as well, to use our platform and to showcase that journey, because I mean, I come from a first generation student. I come from a family of immigrants, and it's been like where I had nobody in medicine, nobody in healthcare to guide me, and I had to figure it out all on my own, just like getting to talk to people, asking them for letting me shadow them and all of that. So I'm just trying to make that whole. If even we can help a couple of individuals out with our project, I think it would be worth it. So there's no hunger for money behind this, or we're not even
It's
making
not
money.
like
We're actually
yeah,
spending money
it's
on the
we're spending a
project, which
lot.
is completely fine as long as we get to help the next generation of students and make their journey just a little bit like easier than how ours was in college. It would be worth it.
And I feel like there's not many platforms out there that are showcasing different specialties, different professions, and kind of the way we're doing it. We're kind of humanizing these people and kind of showcasing that they're just humans as well. They worked hard to get where they're at. You can do it too. And
Exactly.
not every person we interviewed had come from a wealthy family. They've taken student loans, so on and so on. So like that's kind of our goal is showcasing that hard work does pay off. Yeah, I guess like that's the main takeaway I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool. And I like how you said that whole like the humanizing thing because
Yeah.
in my experience, I feel like I've met a sizable amount of people in medicine that don't really have the greatest people skills.
Yeah.
And you guys are creating this platform where you get to see those people skills or you get to see the human behind it. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Have you guys experienced what I just mentioned where there's people in medicine where it's like, man, like they're great at what they do, but they didn't really have the people skills they weren't, as nice as they could have been, or as patient as they could have been,
Yeah.
or understanding as they could have been.
Yeah, like I feel
Yeah.
like I've definitely seen it for sure.
Me too. Yeah, no, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, the places I've shadowed at, I've seen doctors up there who were, I'm pretty sure, great doctors. People, I would probably sign up to them as my doctor as well because they know what they're doing. But it's just the communication factor where they may lose patients because what patients see, they don't see all your degrees, they don't see all your accomplishments, right? What they see is like, are you a good person? Do you know how
Yeah.
to communicate with, you know, Dr. Glenn, the first guest that we had on our podcast, he's a cardiologist at Texas Children's Hospital, and he gave us a really good advice. Like, what matters to a patient is you walk in and you ask them, like, how's your day going? So, what do you do? Tell me about yourself. Like, nothing medical related, but more on a personal level. Getting to communicate with them, so then that patient, trusts the doctor and comes back every time. Like, it's not like, oh, one time thing, horrible doctor, never gonna show up again, and then they lose the relationship. So I've seen a lot of doctors like that, and yeah, I do agree. Like with our platform, hopefully we can showcase a little bit of that, like why it is important to have those communication or public skills
Yeah.
in the medical field.
And I feel
Yeah,
like doctors in
absolutely.
general are they're so focused on school, those 8 years and then 4 years or how specialty wise, residency and everything. It really does take away, some human aspect of social life and, those type of aspects. So I do feel like it's important to maintain a social life while I'm at school, like go out, enjoy with your friends, and like don't just focus on school. School is a priority, of course, but it shouldn't be your number one priority. Your family, friends should always feel like be number one, and then it comes school. Close enough, right? You shouldn't disparate it too much to the point where you're failing your classes. But I still feel like your social interaction, because humans are social creatures at the end of the day. I feel like that should be a priority in everyone's life.
Absolutely, man. And what it reminds me of is this quote from Carl Jung where he said, know all the theories, master all the techniques, but as you touch a human soul, be just another human soul. And there's something humble about that. Just be humble.
Yeah,
Um, you might, as you said, Asfan, you might be a great doctor, but just be humble. Treat people like
Yeah,
people. Yeah, because
yeah,
I feel like I've seen that a lot to the point where I had to bring it up. So I think it's cool that again you guys have that platform where you're showcasing this is an expert, this is a doctor, this is whoever in health, but there's also a human aspect to them too.
yeah.
yeah. Very right. Yeah.
Glad it's working.
We have seen that in a lot of leaders
Yeah,
that we have communicated with, like where, regardless of their titles or their positions, they're very humble people. Like they're talking to us the way they would talk to their seniors, probably. So that
yeah.
shows a lot about a person, like they're gonna how they're gonna treat you. Like a normal, I mean, we're students or young professionals, so they don't have to talk to us that way, but they do. It's a sign of respect. So that
And
shows a
it's
lot
like
about the type of doctor they are, probably.
Yeah,
some doctors might have an ego. I feel like that ego is one of the things that kills a human being, especially is like humbleness is really an important factor, and ego sometimes, I guess contradicts that a lot.
yeah, man. It makes me think humility is an investment.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, you remember it. Another question I wanted to ask you guys was there a time in your life where you did something good and you didn't have to, but then it paid off for you in the end?
Huh. I gotta think about
Yeah,
this one.
I can't think of like a certain situation, but I've had moments like this where uh someone came to me asking for like a help with something or maybe getting uh some sort of connections or like, hey, someone that could help me out, and I didn't have to go out of my way to help them out, but I did, and it came back, in a positive way for me, where what I helped them out with, they remembered, and it wasn't even them who helped me out with my situation, but someone else did. So I would think of it as like, do good and you'll have good type of situation. So that's what happened. It has happened multiple times in my life. So now all I think about is like, it doesn't have to, if I can help someone out and I don't have to see a benefit from it, I'll still do it, because at the end of the day, what matters is being a good human being,
I
regardless of like the religion. I mean, of course, our
yeah.
religion is the most is a really important factor in my life, which also teaches us like, you should always do good, take care of the people around you, and all that. But I think, I mean, just as a human being, you should be doing this on a regular basis. Like, do not think like the only reason I'll help you out is what am I gonna get in return?
Yeah,
If you have
expectations
that
are.
thinking, I don't think you're gonna go far in life. But nothing. I mean, if you have that thinking, nothing wrong with that. Go do, keep doing you. But in my opinion, I think without thinking of the benefit, just keep helping out because that's how life's gonna work. There has to be good people living in this world to have the like. If you're helping someone out, somebody's gonna help you out in that same way.
And I feel like helping out people in general always makes me feel good. I feel like that's an important thing that I get out of it, I guess, is sometimes you just need to feel good, you know? And I feel like helping people out or doing someone like a favor, not even a favor, but just helping them out in general, it would be such a like rewarding feeling, especially if they're struggling or they need help desperately. I never think of it as like, oh, I'm helping this person now. In the future, I expect something out of it. No, it's just like, I helped them out, and at the end of the day, I have a smile on my face. What more could he ask for?
Yeah. There's that
Yeah.
cool saying in Urdu. I like it. It's Karbala Hobala, do good, you get good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
My
Yeah.
Urdu's not that advanced.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But
I know that saying. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting you say that though, because something I reflect on is there's this organization in Houston, it's called Outreach in the Barrio. And I've only been there once ever, right? And I was helping out the homeless, we were making the meals, we were giving the meals out. And I was wondering, I started asking people like, what do you get out of this? And they said something very similar, like, oh, you feel good. You feel good about yourself. And I remember thinking like, man, I don't feel very good about myself. But what we're doing is still a good thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys had experiences like that where you don't necessarily feel good about helping someone or doing something good, but the act itself is still something positive?
I feel like even sometimes volunteering, I guess, volunteering wise, I never, especially I guess AMPS at times when we volunteering, I never looked at the bigger aspect of, oh, I'm helping people out. It was more of just doing it for hours, which is kind of, it's a negative thing if you think about it, but like I feel like that was kind of a thing where we were kind of just so focused on what we are doing at the time, trying to get our volunteer hours. I didn't think of feeling like rewarding, like feeling afterwards. It was more of just, okay, I got it done. But in my head, I did know I was helping people feed the homeless. What was it? It was, remember the kitchen one in our AMSA? I don't think we were officers. We went to the
Yeah,
kitchen and we
we
were
were
prepping
members
meals.
that year. I
Yeah.
remember that, and no,
I,
I do agree with Muneeb. I was also thinking a little selfishly, when during my MCell officer time, because I was doing the volunteer hours to rack up my or volunteer events to rack up my hours for application, for medical schools or grad schools and all that. But yeah, I never thought about the bigger picture. But now that I think about it, because even once we graduated, now we still keep doing the volunteer events every now and then for some of the organizations, and is because it wasn't until I graduated I started realizing like all the work that I was doing was actually good thing. It was giving it back to the community in a way and just helping people out that are in need. And I started feeling good about myself afterwards. But even though at that time I wasn't even looking at that, at that time I was being selfish and just looking at like, okay, I gotta do this event, I'll get 4 more hours. I gotta do this event, I'll get 3 more hours. So uh, but yeah, now that I feel like as we're growing older too, it's starting to kick in and realizing like how important it is to be parts of organizations that do have volunteer events and just help the community. It's the easiest way to give help people in need, in my opinion. You're not spending any money, you're just dedicating some time out of your life. And I get it, lives are busy, but if you just take out maybe like 2 3 hours out of your week, I think you'll be fine. And it's a rewarding experience. So go do that. Go do whatever volunteer events you have in your community and be a part of it. It's a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. When I went to that one volunteering experience, I was in Barrio. I met a good friend there. That was the one time I ever went, and I met a good friend. So
There you go.
you definitely get something out of it, eh?
Yeah, you
Dude,
never know who you might meet, like what might happen. Like life is very unexpected.
Yeah. There's that saying, life comes out of you. It doesn't like happen to you. It comes out of you, like the things you do. And there's actually a Charles Bukowski quote that I really like. I'm trying to remember what it is exactly. Let's see. He said, I was waiting for something extraordinary to happen, but as the years wasted on, nothing ever did unless I caused it. And I love that quote because it's just so
yeah,
true, man. Sometimes we're
Yeah.
true.
always waiting, like, oh, something
Oh,
extraordinary
something's
is going
gonna
to
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen unless you do something. It's like, oh, man. And you realize, whoa,
I did
there's a
something.
lot of life that comes out of you taking action.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
honestly, that's very true. Is sometimes causation is caused by action, right? I feel like once
Mm.
you kind of do something,
Is that yours?
no, I don't know. I just came up with it right now. Maybe
That's beautiful. I got to quote you on that. Say that again.
yeah, quote me.
Causation, what?
It's caused by action.
Hmm.
Does that even make
Muneeb
sense?
Rehman.
No, it makes sense.
It
It
makes sense,
makes
right?
It
yeah.
does, and I
Boom.
love
That's
it.
a
Hit
good
that.
quote.
I said that. I'm
I
gonna
have you
put that
quoted
on the
on
We'll,
that.
wall.
I have
we'll
you
quote
quoted on
it.
it.
I'm gonna actually Google search real quick just to see if
Just
it's
to make
really him or
someone else
not.
have said it. I swear I've never heard this. I just kind of made it up on the spot.
I loved it though, and
Causation.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
was it
I
called
don't
again,
know.
Lee?
Causation is caused by action. Kind of rhymes too. I should be a rapper, bro.
Money B.
Money B. It's funny.
Well,
But go
what would
ahead.
your rapper name be, Asfand?
I have no clue. I don't think I can be a rapper. I don't have the voice for that.
Lil
Not even
Musa.
lyrically.
Nah, Lil
Lil
Musa.
Musa.
Lil Musa.
Zaino be
Alright.
Big Musa, you're Lil Musa.
You're right.
Ah,
You're right. I'll take the Lil Musa, sure. Yeah, hey man, I don't see any code
Quote
online
me.
like
Quote
that. So
me.
it is
Send that
you.
to me too so
I
I don't
have you
forget.
quoted, man. It'll be on my community post. I have you
Hey,
quoted.
appreciate it.
Yeah, but you were saying something earlier?
I was, but I forgot.
No, now he forgot.
I don't know what was I saying. Causation is caused by action, and I feel like more you do something, go out, meet new people, is how you make friends. If I never did the internship year, I wouldn't have met us fun, and I was thinking about not doing it because it was not paid. So like
Yeah,
it was just a thing like that, like right. I was like, oh, I have a job right now. I was working retail back then, and I was like, I don't need to work an unpaid internship, a 9 to 5, go drive 30 minutes, right? I'm wasting money on gas and everything. But I'm glad I did it because at the end of the day, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gotten my job that I have now. I wouldn't have met us fun and have super great opportunities that I got from that internship in my life. Was I wouldn't have got that if I just didn't take that risk.
Hmm.
yeah. I was thinking about not doing it because of the unpaid factor, and I was working at a restaurant before, so I was making decent amount of money with like the server shifts and everything, but I wanted to get into the medical field and like research was always like something that ignited my passion. So I said, you know what, I'm not getting any other jobs right now, and I'm at a young age. I can afford not being paid for 10 weeks. I'll be fine. So I did sign up for it. And the first day I was just looking around, seeing like, oh my god, it's gonna be a long, 10 weeks because I won't have any friends or anything. It's everybody is new. And then I met him on the first day. So yeah, and then since then now we're really good friends, best friends. So that's amazing. I mean, life would give you, like you said. I mean, you're not even expecting things, and it just happens because
Yeah.
you did something. So I love that. I'm glad that I was able to join that internship and meet a friend like me.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the best things happen to you when you're not expecting them, when you're not looking for them. Sometimes.
Honestly, I agree with that a lot. The more you look for something, I feel like the farther it is.
Yeah. And that sometimes that poses a dilemma because you really want something, but the more and more you desire it, the further and further it gets.
Yeah.
That's true.
How do you balance that out? Really wanting something and then recognizing, hey, by continuously trying to chase this or pursue this, it gets further away.
I feel like
Uh,
it has to do with humbleness if you think about it a little bit. Like you really have to be humble in a way to think about, okay. And re for me, it's more religious as well. I really do think like, I'm Muslim. So at the end of the day, I
I
let
didn't
it
know that. Huh?
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank
Sarcasm.
you. Thank
I
you.
don't get sarcasm, my bad. But it's just something I've really learned to trust God in general. And it really does take off a certain aspect of your brain is like you really want something, but if you trust God and just work towards it rather than having a certain mindset of, oh, wow, like I really want this every day you're waking up like, 8 a.m. like I need to go work hard. Trust God. Still wake up, work hard, but
Yeah.
that peace of mind will really change your life and that mental state that you're in,
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, that leave it on Allah. Like, he's the creator of us all. So leave it on him. Everything that's meant to happen will happen because of him. I mean, he's gonna make it happen. So do not stress about it too much, but also at the same time, do not just quit, like, oh, it's not working, but now I'll leave it on Allah, but I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna quit doing what I was doing for the past, couple of weeks. So still try, because it's not gonna happen if you don't try
Yeah.
things. Like, keep pushing for it, keep pushing for the goal that you're trying to reach, but leave the final decision on Allah. And if it doesn't happen for some reason, maybe there was something good in it. Everything that
Yeah.
happens for a reason. So good or bad, just accept it with the grace of Allah, and maybe He has something better for you in life. You just have to be patient.
Patient, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things. One of my friends told me, he's like, man, you just got to be patient. You just got to be patient. Sometimes you just got to wait, is what he said it quite exactly. Sometimes you just got to wait. And it's true.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
very
so
true.
true. Man, I was
So what do you,
wondering, yeah, go ahead,
I had a
man.
question for, I mean, you two, of course. What do y'all think about the law of attraction thing? Everybody talks about it like, oh, you just have to keep pushing, it will happen. So what do y'all think about the law of attraction?
You have
I
to
I
keep pushing and what?
You just have to keep pushing towards a goal, and it is bound to happen. As so, the
Ah,
law of attraction is like, you just have to. You can't give up. If you believe in something and you manifest it, it will. But it is bound to happen. So
I
I want to
do
get y'all's
like
opinion.
I do agree with that, right? But the thing is, the whole point of, I guess, that peace of mind while doing it is what I like is rather than always stressing about it, always thinking about it, it's always like you'll grow gray hairs, Rather than just kind of that, I guess, religious aspect is trusting God, still putting that work in, right? But you're trusting God. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I feel like that takes off a lot of stress off your mind and that mental state aspect. So people deal with a lot of depression, anxiety. I feel like that's helped me kind of reevaluate my feelings and my mental state is like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I still feel
yeah.
like law of attraction is a real thing, like work hard towards something, manifest it, it'll happen. But just don't overthink it.
I love this Alex Hermosi quote where he says, do so much work, it would be unreasonable that you don't
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah. I love that
Yeah,
And
quote.
yeah, yeah, he's
beautiful.
got some great stuff. He's got some
Yeah.
great stuff. But I think to answer your question, Asfand, I think it has something to do with that quote. And also at the same time, technically speaking, as Muslims, we don't really believe in luck, but it's like, I think there's some truth in that, like manifesting, you know, um, in the sense that, well, there's this one religious thing. Allah is how you perceive him to be. So if you perceive him, your Lord is how you perceive him to be. So if you perceive him to be good and generous and supportive of you, then that is the way he is to you. But if you perceive him to be, punishable or punishing, angry, just not supportive of you, then that's how he is to you as well.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that's a really good answer. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, that one is a really helpful one. It really changes your perspective quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, like you said, a lot. I've seen a lot of people like growing up, being born in a Muslim household. There were people who were just trying to scare you, like, oh, have that, uh, like a scary, not image, I would say, but like a thinking of the Creator, Allah, and how everything you do is you have to be really careful and it's gonna scare you. But nobody showed you the loving side of Him, or talked about the loving side of Allah. Where once you believe in something and you're doing good things, but just have trust in Him, you're trying to get your goals towards it. And I started learning on my own in the recent years. I mean, there was a time where I wasn't as religious as I should have been, but then I started picking it up when life got a little difficult, and I went back to my religion and started trusting in Him a lot more. And that's when I started realizing, like, nobody actually talked to me about the loving side of Allah, but everybody was trying to talk to me about the scary side and just portrayed that in my head. And because of that, I just got too scared. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can ever be a good Muslim, you know? And
Yeah.
that was the thing. But I'm glad that I have enough knowledge now. Knowledge is powers that I started looking into things on my own and started seeing the positive side of Islam and being a Muslim. So,
And I feel like everyone's relationship with God, I guess across like all religions, right? It should be between you and God. No other person should have a say. Because at the end of the day, who is another person to judge you?
very
You
true.
know, you could be a really good like religious person, but you badmouth people or jealous, just hating person, and then you could be someone who doesn't practice religion as well, but you're a good human being. You don't know how you're gonna be judged. Like no one knows, right? So it's just
Yeah.
a matter of like, mind your own business.
I love it, man. And we were talking about people in the medical field earlier. I think the same goes for people in religious circles, where
Yeah,
some of them can just really have this nasty ego where it's like they're masters of faith. They've perfected ritual and everything like that. But
man.
again, they lack the people skills where they're just kind of
Yeah,
terrible folks to talk to.
I
I
agree.
don't want to badmouth people that much, but it's like,
No,
man,
but
like as you
Like
said,
I'll do
like
it.
this
you
guy's
put
like
that
really,
very you put that very correctly because I've
Yeah,
seen that too, where I'm like, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, of course they have more knowledge than me, and but it's just the way that
you
they're
portray
not
something.
doing the
Yeah,
things that I would expect them to do, like at being at a high level of like knowledge for Islam. I mean, I would expect better from them, but I don't see that, and it's okay. So now I don't even judge them because who am I to judge them, right? It's them and Allah, and it's me and Allah. It's not me, them versus Allah and everything. Like, no, we cannot judge each other. So I
yeah,
just look at God. Yeah.
religion for me, I'll say it like for selfish reasons. I pray because it makes me feel good. You know. Like I
Yeah,
have my
it's
own
not to make
selfish reasons
anybody
for
else
following my
happy.
religion. Like it's not to make anyone else happy, it's for myself. There's no other like, oh, making my mom happy or my family happy by being religious. I don't like it's never been for that for me because my mom has never pushed religion on me either. It's always been for myself, and I feel like it should be that way for everybody. And when it's forced is when people tend to shy away from it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, I mean, speaking about that, not being forced onto you, a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of Muslim households, like their parents do force their religion onto their kids, and that's another reason why the rewords, are, in my opinion, are following the religion in a better way than most of the people who were born in the religion and just keep
Yeah,
following
I
because
believe
they
that
have
too.
that fear. They're like, oh, okay, my mom's gonna, scold me or something. My mom's gonna say anything if I don't pray 5 times a day. But they're not doing it. They're not seeing like the actual benefits of why you have to pray or why Islam says you gotta pray 5 times a day or why you should fast. They just do it because my mom told me to do it, or my
Yeah.
dad told me to do it. Yeah, and they if I'm not gonna be able to hang out with my friends if my I don't pray 5 times a day because my mom told me you have to pray to go out, that type of thing. So I think it makes you a better person following the religion as well if you do it on your own without anybody pressuring you into it.
yeah. What you said earlier, Muneeb, it reminded me of this one thought I had where pray for your wishes, if anything.
Yeah.
If anything, at least pray, even if it's for your wishes, for what you want. That's better than nothing, eh?
Nothing, yeah. And
Yeah,
I feel like prayer is important. It's like a type of people say meditation is so important nowadays. For Islam, that's us praying 5 times a day, right? That's their meditation. So if you really look at it from scientific point of view, nutritional wise, so many concepts of that in the Quran itself. So I really, as like a science major, I feel like you can connect those dots rather than shy away from it. Some people think science wise, oh, it's like religion is like a falsehood. But I feel like I can connect science and my religion more together, knowing more about it, if anything. Yeah.
yeah. And the interesting thing is, historically, science and faith were not enemies. I think that's
Yeah.
more of a modern age thing that they try
Yeah.
to push on to
Yes,
people.
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. I enjoyed this conversation, guys, and I'm wondering, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you felt like you wanted to say but you didn't get a chance to, or something on your mind that you wanted to express?
You know what, Omar? How's your week been, bro? Talk about you, bro. Why'd you start this? I want to talk about that
Yeah, what was the reason behind starting this podcast? I know you've been doing it for quite a
for a
while
while,
now.
yeah.
I went through your page to look through when you started, and I mean you've had some incredible guests as well as some of our own friends on your podcast. So
Yeah.
I want to know why you started this.
Yeah, I remember when I first came out to UH, it was really exciting because I was meeting so many people in so many different spheres. And, I was also a part of MSA, and through MSA, we'd go to Austin, and we'd
Hmm.
go to like Dallas, and then I'd meet people in San Antonio. Like I started meeting a lot of different people in a lot of different places. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is so cool. But what this is it's like you clap hands with people for 5 minutes. You say some nice things, you exchange Instagrams, and that's it. You never see them again, you never talk to them again. And I was like, there's a lot of these people that I found pretty interesting, even in those small 5 minutes. It would be cool to get to know them some more. And I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if there's a platform where that could happen? And so that's how the podcast began. But there's so many reasons. That's just one of them.
Hmm.
Another one was something related to a question I asked you guys earlier. In my life experiences, I find that every friendship has an expiration date. And that doesn't mean that it always has to like end between two people while they're alive. It could be your friend died. And that's happened to me actually. And so it's kind of like a way, it's like a time capsule where you get to capture these memories and like look back at them. Be like, I don't really talk to that guy anymore. I don't really talk to that girl anymore. But there was a time when I did, and here is a place to keep that alive, if even for a little bit. So those were a couple of reasons, and
That's
yeah, it's
beautiful,
just
man.
That
it's
is very
it's nice to
beautiful.
look back at. It's been like 3 years now, and I
Uh,
feel that like
And
the
I
one of those
respect
intentions. I look back,
I
I'm like,
respect
damn,
everything you're doing on your podcast channel because I see, I mean, all the conversations. I know you post every time there's a new podcast on your story as well, and I get to see a glimpse of every podcast in a way where what you guys talk about, and it's always different communication, just connecting to them, on a
yeah,
personal level. And I really appreciate that. You're doing a great job, man.
yeah, stick with it, bro. I feel like this is an
Yeah,
amazing platform you built, which I've watched a couple episodes and I actually love them. Like, I feel like you've done a great
yeah,
job of like meeting these people and connecting with them, right? Really love the
yeah.
conversations you've had.
Thank you guys. And actually, it's funny, Muneeb. When I first met you at that one banquet, I remember I wanted to have you on since then. But
yeah.
look at
Dude,
this. Like we only got around to this now, and that's been
yeah.
2 years later,
Almost
Yeah.
two
over 2 years
years,
later.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, it's been a while because I remember seeing that, and now, like, I was thinking about it earlier this week. I was like, oh wow, yeah, the first time we wanted to get on this podcast, or we were about to.
It was almost
It's
a few
been
years
a
ago,
long
yeah.
time since then, but we
Yeah.
made it happen. That's what
Yeah.
matters. I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think I started on my Sunday on a very good note with like
No,
some
it's
great
amazing
thoughts.
conversation. And I'm glad
Yeah,
we did it now because I feel like with everything that we've done so far,
we're in a
it's
better
we're
stage
in a
to
better
talk about
state.
a lot
Like
more
I feel like me 2 years ago was a completely different person from I am now. So I
Yeah.
genuinely, yeah, I
I
really
really
enjoy this
appreciate you
conversation.
guys being on. And actually, there was another question I wanted to ask you guys.
things.
I remember when I first began this podcast, it did take courage. It takes courage to start anything. And you never know how people perceive it, but you got to have that, faith in yourself, faith in God, faith in yourself. When you guys started, how did you get the courage? What was that like for you?
I feel like it was just doing it with us fun really helped a lot. I feel like when you have someone to do it with, it does help because end of the day we were having fun with it. It wasn't much of a pressure. Again, it was with the guests, especially when we started the Dreamers. For the Brown
Yeah,
Boys, it was like us kind of doing a trial run. I feel like that really helped us kind of get a leg in the game where we're having conversations with each other, getting comfortable on camera. But it does take a lot of courage just even setting up like they always say just do it. And like I feel like the doing it was the hardest part like in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Like the first podcast, I remember I was nervous. I was thinking to myself like, "Oh, we have a professional guest in front of us. I hope we don't mess up, and we did mess up. We messed up
Yeah,
like
we
I think
messed
a
up.
couple of times during
Yeah,
the
we cut
podcast,
it out, but
and we cut it out, and we said we're sorry. We're just starting off. It's our first time, but I can guarantee it's only gonna get better from here. So, and it did get better. Every episode, I feel like we make slight
yeah,
changes, and it looks better than the last one, and that's called progress. So we're still
Yeah.
not perfect. We're still progressing towards a better podcasting situation in our Dreamers podcast thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're learning from every episode, every guest. We learn a little bit, and it did take a lot of courage to start off the professional one, Dreamers.
yeah,
But I think we've got a nice hang of it now, with being comfortable speaking on the camera and talking to very diverse population professionals and in different fields. So we're just gonna keep trying this, and hopefully we'll get only better from here.
yep,
One of the
I agree.
lessons I've learned on this journey is consistency looks different on different people. And another compliment I want to pay you guys is you keep going. Even if it takes you like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you still keep going. So kudos to you. That's
I
impressive.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you guys had on your mind?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think
But
yeah, I think I've gotten everything out of my
yeah,
head.
Cool.
yeah, thank
Well,
you for
hey,
having
thank you
me.
guys for joining me. I appreciate your time. I suppose until next time, eh? Inshallah. You
Hey,
guys take care.
inshallah,
All right, inshallah. Take
All
care,
right.
brother.
inshallah, bro. Take care, bro.